From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
This Thanksgiving Day, good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez, just jumping the gun today, Lauren. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And these are your headlines on November the 26th. A deadly crash closes a major highway on the city's southeast side. This morning, what investigators say may have caused that crash.
And the coronavirus pandemic has added new barriers to our lives every day. How a community organization feeding those this Thanksgiving is having to adapt.
And it's a sure sign of the holiday season. This morning, that familiar face, that lovable face, now perched above downtown Indianapolis, there it is. It's the real deal. It is Thanksgiving Day here in central Indiana, and welcome to you on this Thursday. Lauren, I hope you're having a good morning already.
Oh my goodness. It is weird. We didn't have that 4:30 show. I feel all out of sorts.
Yeah, I feel left out. You were both talking at the same time, and I wasn't even in the picture here. So.
Hey, Todd,
well, can I explain really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I want to explain for a sec. So at home, you know, I have a teleprompter, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. So I print my scripts. And on my original script, that opening wasn't there, so I thought we're doing something new.
Well, surprise.
It's
Thanksgiving.
not having that 4:30 show kind of just got us off on a little bit of a tangent here. But hey, we're all here. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And the rain is gone. How about that? Just in time for the holiday. Anybody that has plans today is in pretty good shape here. Radar is completely quiet. There was a little bit of patchy drizzle that was remaining yesterday, but here's our storm system now. It's well off to the east. You do not have to worry about that. The clouds, though, are going to hang around. So while it's not going to be a bright Thanksgiving, at least it's going to be a dry Thanksgiving for us with temperatures that are actually going to be pretty seasonable. We're in the 40s right now, 47 in Lafayette, as well as Indy. 48 is the current temperature in Bloomington, and Muncie sitting at 49 degrees throughout the day today. Just lots of clouds. With the clouds in place, temperatures really not going to do much at all. We're looking at about 47 degrees by the noon hour, with our high temperature today getting up to right around 50 degrees. So just because of the cloud cover, there's not a whole lot of movement temperature-wise. Tomorrow, though, we get the sunshine back and warmer temperatures do return. Briefly, we'll talk more about that and the potential for the first snow of the season coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. We are monitoring some traffic issues already on this holiday. Let's take a look down here on the southeast side of town. This is where we've been monitoring a deadly crash from the overnight hours. This happened late last night along the westbound direction of I-465 between I-74 and Arlington Avenue. Also, we're hearing from our photographer who went out to the scene that the ramps from Southeastern also blocked off, so police closing this entire area so you can still see the flashing lights off in a distance. Avoid that spot if you can. That could change up your commute a little bit this morning, and you may need to reroute. You can head up to maybe Brookville Road, Washington Street to get back around, turn around and go back in the other direction. And of course, we'll keep you updated this morning. Let's take a look right now down the south side of town. This is I-65 near Edgewood Avenue. You can see our camera here, the flashing lights. This is a semi-crash that we're monitoring between Edgewood Avenue and Southport Road down on the south side of town. You can see that we have several lanes blocked. It's looking like right now we have 2 lanes blocked in the northbound direction and 1 lane blocked in the southbound direction. So this might slow down your south side commute, especially if you're heading northbound this morning. We'll continue to monitor this and get more details for you, and we'll keep you updated throughout the morning. Rafael?
Lauren, thank you so much. Keep us posted on that. The pandemic is not stopping a Thanksgiving tradition. Though it will look a lot different, their mission is still the same on this Thanksgiving Day. Our Kelsey Anderson is live this morning with how the Moselle Sanders Foundation plans to feed many, many people on this Turkey Day. Kelsey, good morning and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Hey, good morning, Rafael, and thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys back at the studio. So for the Moselle Sanders Foundation, they have been cooking this Thanksgiving dinner for years with thousands and thousands of volunteers, and it normally takes place at the Butler University kitchen. But now this year, because of COVID-19, they're working with just about less than 100 volunteers, and they're working at 13 separate locations, including here at the Tabernacle Presbyterian Church.
Our meals have been decreased from 40,000 to about 10,000 due to the amount of volunteers we can take care of and the amount of food we can bring in.
Stephen Sanders is in his first year as the CEO of the Moselle Sanders Foundation, and the COVID-19 pandemic is not making it easy.
I would say with the pandemic, we've been challenged with spaces or the amount of people we can tolerate.
This is file video we have from last year's Thanksgiving dinner. He tells me they usually have thousands of volunteers cooking, packing meals, and delivering them. But this year, because of the pandemic, they have less than 100 volunteers.
But we're still trying to ensure that people have access to a meal on Thanksgiving.
Colin Simpson has been the volunteer chef for 35 years and says this year is different from the rest, but they were determined to feed as many Hoosiers as possible.
We were very much bent on getting as much out as we possibly can. So we worked with the resources that we have, and this is what we, landed. And it's 10,000 that wouldn't have not gotten meals if this was not going on.
Now Sanders is putting the call out for anyone who can to help those in need this holiday.
We won't be able to do a mass amount as we usually do. So it's up to our Hoosiers and up to our Hoosier heroes to actually step up and feed and also just help, because we're all in this together.
So next year will be the 50th year for the Moselle Sanders Foundation, and they tell me they're hoping that in next year's Thanksgiving Day they can serve their millionth meal. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. The time right now is 5:06. Let's talk about what's going on the southeast side on the roads. Indiana State Police are still investigating a deadly crash here on the city's southeast side. State troopers say this crash happened around 11:30 Wednesday evening near I-465 in the westbound direction and Southeastern Avenue. When they arrived, they found a woman lying in the road. She was taken to an area hospital where she later died. Police say the woman's vehicle became disabled on the left shoulder and she walked across the interstate. Troopers say they believe she was walking back to her vehicle when she was hit. The vehicle who initially hit the woman did not stop. Police say she was then hit by other vehicles. The woman's identity has not been released.
Lauren, now to the pandemic and its impact on Hoosier lives. State health officials report nearly 6,100 new cases of coronavirus in our state. Since the pandemic began, nearly 313,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. Health officials also confirm 63 more Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. Since November 1st, 1,055 people have died with the virus. That means that November is now the deadliest month of the pandemic so far. The State Department of Health also updated the long-term care dashboard. In the past week, more than 1,200 nursing home residents have tested positive for COVID-19. 182 additional long-term care residents died with the virus. Residents in long-term care facilities make up 55% of the state's coronavirus deaths.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and his wife plan to get tested for COVID-19 later this week. On Wednesday, the city announced that Hogsetts are in quarantine after they were in close contact with someone who later tested positive for the virus. Neither have symptoms right now, according to the mayor's office. They plan to remain in quarantine through December 4th. Governor Eric Holcomb and First Lady Janet Holcomb are also quarantining this week due to possible COVID exposure. They tested negative last week.
This morning, several people have to find a new place to live after a fire on the city's northwest side. The crews were called to Michigan Road near 53rd Street around 9 o'clock Wednesday night. Investigators say several units were damaged in that fire. This morning, the Red Cross is helping the displaced residents get temporary housing. Thankfully, there are no reports of any injuries.
Well, when body scanners were installed in the Allen County Jail a year ago, the sheriffs knew that drugs would be found by people trying to smuggle them inside. But what it revealed earlier this month shocked everyone. It began when a state trooper pulled over a car for speeding and arrested a man and a woman. Before two officers took the woman to the showers for a strip search, they had her go into the body scanner. When the images appeared, they found a loaded handgun with ammunition visible in the magazine.
It was saran wrapped around her torso several times, very tight, held it very tight, and then on top of that she had a girdle that was also securing it.
Well, Sheriff Dave Gladio says that the gun was safely confiscated. Now Sheriff is calling for Fort Wayne and State Police to include the scanner images in their training.
The Circle City will have to wait a few more years to host the NBA All-Star Game. On Wednesday, the league and the Pacers announced that next year's game will not happen at Bankers Life Fieldhouse as planned. Indianapolis will now host the All-Star Game in the year 2024. The NBA schedule will also be different this season after the pandemic delayed the end of last season.
Well, Central Indiana icon has returned to watch over downtown Indianapolis this holiday season. Look closely. The Cherub is now on its perch on the Ellis Ayers clock at the corner of Meridian and Washington Streets downtown. Each year, the Cherub mysteriously appears to keep a watchful eye on holiday shoppers. Legend has it that the Cherub watches over shoppers until Santa takes over on Christmas Eve. The Cherub first made an appearance in the Ellis Ayers catalog following World War II. It's been mysteriously placed on top of the Ayers clock since Thanksgiving 1947. Well, despite all the rain we had yesterday, Todd, the Cherub still made its way here and got on the perch. And today it's dry, so that's good news.
I think it was smart. You know, we probably waited till just after all that rain. Yesterday, over an inch of rain in many locations, and radar now is nice and quiet for us. So yesterday we talked about how travel would be pretty difficult the day before Thanksgiving, but the actual Thanksgiving forecast wasn't all that bad, and that's holding true here this morning. There could be a sprinkle or two across parts of the area, but otherwise we are in pretty good shape. All the heavier rain from yesterday is off towards the east. We got through yesterday evening with not much in the way of severe weather. There was one severe weather warning that I saw over in the Rush County area for a thunderstorm and some gusty winds. Temperatures this morning are sitting in the 40s across the area. 48 in Bloomington, 49 in Muncie, 46 is the current temperature in Peru. The clouds are in place. Unfortunately, those clouds are not going anywhere across central Indiana this morning. They're going to hold pretty tough, and as a result, our temperatures not really going to move much at all. We only go up to right around 50 for your afternoon high, but there is brighter weather ahead for your Black Friday shopping and also your weekend. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you so much. COVID cases continue to surge in Indiana and across the country. This morning, while a new study says most Americans are still at risk for the virus. That story and much more on this Thursday, November the 26th, right here on Good Morning, Indiana.
Welcome back. It is 5:15. An alarming new study about the coronavirus says that most Americans are still susceptible to COVID-19. Researchers looked at blood samples from 178,000 people from across the U.S. They found most people do not appear to have the antibodies for the coronavirus. When patients recover from COVID-19, their blood plasma can contain antibodies helping to fight the virus. The antibodies serve as clues to past infection. The study finds that by the end of September, fewer than 10% of people had evidence of previous COVID-19 infection.
So this morning, the Navy is raising its health warning status at most of its bases around the world to respond to the ongoing pandemic. The new status level is known as Charlie. It is just one step below the highest level. Decisions will be made on local infection rates. Charlie condition could mean that school, daycare, and community activities could be canceled. The Navy will also introduce some travel restrictions as well. Meanwhile, Navy medical teams are being deployed to help with some pandemic hotspots. Teams have already been sent to El Paso, Texas, and to North Dakota.
The Pentagon is making sure American troops around the world don't miss out on a Thanksgiving meal. Military leaders say they've shipped more than 300,000 pounds of food to top troops across the world. Among the special delivery, nearly 20,000 pounds of pies and cakes. Pentagon leaders said the meals will be prepared in a grab-and-go style. That's to prevent large gatherings in dining halls due to the pandemic. At 5:16 on your Thanksgiving, let's take a look at our forecast. And the good news is it's a lot drier, Todd.
Yeah, you know, we saw over an inch of rain in many locations yesterday. It was a good old-fashioned soaking. A couple of you had severe thunderstorm warnings yesterday afternoon. That is all gone. Radar is nice and quiet for us here this morning. There's just a few lingering sprinkles here across parts of the area, but that really won't impact you. And those too should fade away pretty quickly here this morning. Unfortunately, though, we will be left with the cloud cover across the area. That is going to remain remain pretty persistent throughout the day today. So don't bank on a bright Thanksgiving, but again, it's going to be a dry Thanksgiving, and you're going to have the ability to get out and about and do some things outdoors, which you were not able to do during the day yesterday. 47 degrees, that's the current temperature. Feels a little bit cooler, though, when you factor in that wind that's out of the west at 12 miles per hour. And temperatures everywhere in the 40s, except for Bedford, which is at 50 degrees here this morning. It's 49 in Muncie. And as we work our way throughout the course of the day today, here's your hour-by-hour breakdown. And honestly, as I mentioned, due to the cloud cover, there's really not much of a change that's going to happen throughout the day, as high temperatures will get up to right around 50 degrees. Then this evening, temperatures will be pretty steady as well in the 40s with cloudy skies. Sunset on this Thanksgiving tonight is at 5:23. As we look ahead in this forecast, we have a couple of good days before the potential of our first accumulating snow as we get into the day on Monday. So tomorrow's a little bit brighter. We get some sunshine back into the forecast. Temperatures are going to be climbing up to right around 50 degrees. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we're in pretty good shape as well. Saturday, 47 degrees, lots of sunshine. The clouds will start to build throughout the day on Sunday. It's a little bit warmer as the temperature gets up to right around 50 degrees for your afternoon high. And that's seasonable for this time of year, upper 40s to right around 50 degrees. Now let's fast forward into Monday, because this is when things will start to get a little interesting across the area. This is 5 p.m. Sunday. We're still dry, just increasing cloud cover. We're going to have two areas of low pressure that are going to kind of merge, and where they merge is going to be key in determining how much snow potential that we have going forward. If this low pushes further off to the east, it probably takes the moisture with it. But right now, I think we'll probably actually start off with a little bit of rain on a Monday morning, and then as the low pushes off towards the east, it starts to pull down the colder air, and that's going to change the rain over to snow. And if this track holds, this could be a pretty good accumulating snow event for us Monday afternoon into Monday evening, and then these snow showers will continue into Tuesday as well before they taper away. And we could see several inches of accumulating snow from this system. Some models want to bring a lot of snow in here. I'm not quite sold on that yet because of the phasing of the system that needs to take place. But at this point, I would start to prepare yourself, at least mentally, and finding that snow shovel and the scraper for at least some snow in the area starting Monday afternoon and going into Tuesday. It's much colder as well, with temperatures, Lauren, that are going to be in the mid-30s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at our traffic alert for your drive right now. This is I-465 near I-74 here on the southeast side, where we still have a closure due to a deadly crash late last night. This is in the westbound lanes of I-465, so you'll need to avoid that for your commute. If you're traveling around the curve there on the 465 loop, I would get off on 70 on the east side, take that through downtown through the north and south splits, and then reroute, take I-65 southbound to reconnect with 465. We'll keep you updated on that situation, but let's take another look. Our crew just arrived at the scene of this semi crash. This is down on the south side of town between Edgewood Avenue and Southport Road. You can see the semi there going, looks like over the little barrier wall there in the median. So the cleanup is impacting traffic both northbound and southbound on Southport Road. We have at least one lane open, at least in both directions, so you can still get by, but things are going to be slowing down. So we'll keep you updated as we learn new information. Raphael?
A busy morning here in central Indiana. We'll keep you updated on that situation. Lauren, thank you so much. TV, as you know, has a way of bringing people together. After the break, we talk to a Hoosier native about his role in a special holiday show airing tonight right here on WRTV.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Beard, and I'm part of the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit at Fort Benning, Georgia. I'm from Danville, Indiana, and I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Lieutenant Beard, thank you for your service. This evening, Disney's magical holiday celebration, Lauren, is sending all of us a special holiday invitation.
It is time for that season, Raphael. One of the hosts is Trevor Jackson from Grownish, and I got a chance to chat with him.
All right, so Trevor Jackson is here with me to talk about the Disney's magical holiday celebration. As a fellow Indy native Southsider, I want to thank you for taking time to talk with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. So good to talk to my home, where I'm came from.
Your hometown. So talk to me a little bit about what people can expect as they watch the holiday celebration Thanksgiving night.
Oh, you're going to see amazing performances by Sierra, by Kelly Clarkson. Going to be a lot of love in the air, a lot of unity, and I feel like that's what we need in the world right now. So definitely make sure you guys tune in. Do not want to miss it. It's going to be a good time.
And so what is your favorite part? If you had to pick one thing from the special that, you know, you hope your family will see or you think is a really special moment, what do people need to watch for?
I think the performances, I think the tree, the tree, I think the castle, everything is always on point. You know, I think it just kind of is a nostalgic moment. Disney is that thing that brings people back to their inner child. And yeah, it's just purity, I feel like. So definitely watch out for the performances. Me, Julianne, everyone will be on there. And yeah, we're just gonna be having a good time, you know?
Kids especially are so impacted by the pandemic. Right here in Indianapolis, our schools are going back to virtual learning, which is hard on a lot of families. So what do you think, what do you hope people get out of, you know, the holiday and this special on ABC?
I think what they'll get out of the holiday is hope. You know, I think they'll be able to, see a brighter future, be able to push through, these hard times and see the light at the end of the tunnel in a way. And again, I think the togetherness of it all makes going through things easier. You know, when you realize you're not going through it alone, you got so many people that are going through the same experience. It kind of is a great support system, and a good shoulder to lean on to have that. So I hope that they just take away that and laughter and smiles and, kind of take them out of whatever their regular day is and kind of allow them to escape. I think that's why we entertain. I think that's why Disney is so successful. Is because of its integrity, its morality, and its ability to allow people to escape into another world.
Well, Disney's Magical Holiday Celebration airs tonight at 9 p.m. right here on WRTV, and you can catch Trevor and Grownish on Freeform in early 2021. All right, Todd, if people are making those Thanksgiving Day plans, are they going to be able to play football in the backyard?
I think you can. Maybe a little muddy from the rain yesterday, so you may want to play in the street if that's possible, if it's not a busy street, obviously, in your neighborhood, because the rain has come to an end. Here's a look at radar. There could be a little sprinkle here or there across central Indiana this morning, but you look off to our west and you notice it's pretty quiet, and that is going to be the case throughout the entire day. Now, while it's quiet and we don't have any precipitation, unfortunately, we won't have a whole lot in the way of sunshine either, as we were going to have mostly cloudy skies throughout the morning, throughout the afternoon as well. And with the clouds, you see temperatures really don't move a whole lot. Look for highs right around 50 degrees. More in your weekend forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 5:30, volunteers pulling together on this Thanksgiving Day during a pandemic. How Moselle Sanders made changes to continue a decades-long tradition.
And as you get ready to do some holiday shopping this week, local businesses hope that you'll shop small. How you can help them start to rebound while checking items off your Christmas list. At 5:31, thanks for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you at home. Todd, Raphael, happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
I am thankful for my Good Morning Indiana family, so happy Thanksgiving to all. And Todd Clausen, I think the weather is perfect today for a drive-by pie parade after the show. You guys can come down to Franklin. I will supply the apple pie on the curb, and you guys can drop off either pecan or pecan and sugar cream pies. Good idea, Todd, right?
Yeah, sounds like a great idea. Great idea.
Todd, we got to get bacon, I think.
And we have to get bacon. And then just give a little bit extra to Lauren, and she can bring me all the leftovers tomorrow when we're here on Good Morning Indiana, because I never eat just one piece of pie, Raphael. All right, outside. We're dealing with quiet conditions across the area, and that is good news. We still have the clouds, and that's not going to change, but we don't have all that rain that came down yesterday. Wednesday was a super soaker of a day for us, and at least so we have improvement in that aspect of things. With the clouds in place, temperatures are sitting in the 40s this morning with light winds out of the west. And the clouds, though, unfortunately, are just not going to move much at all throughout the day today. And it's not going to be the brightest Thanksgiving, but I guess we can't really complain because it's not really wet like it was yesterday. There's a few lingering sprinkles across parts of the eastern sections of the state, but that is just about it. So our temperature trend today really doesn't do a whole lot for us. It's kind of just a blah day, and that's not necessarily bad, especially since it's a holiday. Temperatures will be in the mid-40s here this morning. We could get up to right around 50 degrees this afternoon, and then we'll cool back off into the mid-40s as we head into the evening hours. Now, the weekend's not bad, but by next week, we're talking about the potential of our first accumulating snow. More on that coming up in just a few minutes, Lauren.
All right, Todd, it is Thanksgiving, and we do have a traffic alert for drivers out here on the south side. This is a live look at I-65 near Southport Road, sort of between Edgewood Avenue and Southport Road, and you're looking at a semi-crash. Our photographer Wheeldon here is at the scene, and he just spoke with authorities, and he tells us that police there at the scene believe that there was a vehicle broken down where near this happened on southbound I-65. Semi and another car wrecked here at the scene, and it is a pretty messy cleanup, as you can see, but they tell us it looks like everyone involved is in good condition. The driver of the semi was transported to be checked out, but they're not sure how serious the injuries were in nature. They also say there's a little bit of a leak from the semi, but they believe they've contained that. So now the cleanup is underway. As you can see, traffic is impacted both northbound and southbound on I-65 on the south side. So take it slow as you travel through that area. Raphael?
It has been a busy overnight here in central Indiana. A woman is dead after being hit on the southeast side on I-465. According to state police, this happened around 11:30 in the westbound lanes near Emerson Avenue. Investigators believe the woman was walking across the road when she was struck. The vehicle that hit her did not stop. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. It's still not clear why the woman was walking across the interstate at that time of day. Traffic was stopped for several hours while state police investigated the situation. This is a day of Thanksgiving in the middle, as you know, of a pandemic, and Lauren, Hoosiers are finding new ways to carry on their traditions.
Yeah, it's also a day of service for many Hoosier volunteers, and they're also adapting to the change. So this morning, our own Kelsey Anderson is joining us live with how the Moselle Sanders Foundation is working through this pandemic. Good morning, Kelsey.
Hey, good morning and happy Thanksgiving to all of you. So normally the Moselle Sanders Foundation, they cook about 40,000 meals for people in need across Indianapolis. Now this year, because of the pandemic, they normally also have thousands of volunteers. Now this year, they just have less than 100 volunteers, and they're only going to be able to cook about 10,000 meals. So take a look at this file video from last year. You can see dozens of packing meals and preparing food for more than 40,000, all at one central location. Now this year, Moselle Sanders Foundation had to scale things back due to the pandemic, and like I said, they're only going to be able to serve 10,000 meals, which of course is still a lot, but CEO Stephen Sanders is asking you and the entire community to step up this Thanksgiving.
I see a lot of other organizations stepping up this year, and I actually challenged a lot of organizations to still do their Thanksgiving dinner, to still help, because we won't be able to do a mass amount as we usually do. So it's up to our Hoosiers and up to our Hoosier heroes to actually step up and feed and also just help, because we're all in this together.
So normally they cook at the Butler Kitchen, but this year, because of the pandemic, again, they're going to have to go to 13 separate locations to prepare all of this food, one of them being here at the Tabernacle Presbyterian Church. Now, next year, next Thanksgiving, 2021, is the 50th year for the Moselle Sanders Foundation, and that is when they hope that they can make their 1 millionth meal. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. COVID-19 continues its surge here in the Hoosier State. November is now the deadliest month since the pandemic began. 63 more Hoosiers have died with this disease, bringing this month's total deaths to 1,055. State's death toll now stands at 5,232 since the beginning of the pandemic. More than 6,000 new cases were also reported here. 312,000 total cases have been confirmed so far. Governor Eric Holcomb and state health officials provided more updates on the growing cases, including the latest county risk map. Most of the counties are still in the orange risk area, though that's moderate risk for COVID spread. 17 counties, most in northeast Indiana, are in the red category. That's down from 21 counties last week. But State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Bach says they're concerned the number will increase as we head into the Thanksgiving holiday.
Based on the spikes we've seen after our holidays, I'm concerned that many of these orange counties will wind up in red in the next 2 weeks. I cannot repeat this enough. Bringing together large groups of people from outside your immediate household puts everyone at risk for COVID-19. Our hospitals are being inundated with COVID patients. There is still time to make the hard choice today so that you can enjoy many more tomorrows with your loved ones.
Well, health officials plead for Americans to stay home and avoid large gatherings on this Thanksgiving. And that's not stopping some people from traveling. Take a look. The Transportation Safety Administration expects millions of people to travel this week. Nearly 1 million reportedly traveled yesterday alone. This was the scene at Indianapolis International Airport last night. We talked to one traveler who tells WRTV that she felt safe flying from Washington, D.C. Naomi Lindsay says she had to make the trip.
Right now, I'm flying because I need a work visa, so I have to fly. But honestly, the way they've had it in the airports and with the ventilation on the airplanes, I think it's safer to fly than it is to eat inside at a restaurant.
And while some people are flying, a new poll shows that 61% of Americans changed their Thanksgiving plans for safety purposes. Lauren, let's take a look at the big picture. There were more than 2,200 COVID-19 deaths reported in the United States yesterday alone.
As John Lawrence reports, some health experts fear this Thanksgiving could be a super spreader event.
Millions of Americans ignored warnings from public health experts about travel for this holiday weekend.
I'm going to go see my grandparents.
Nothing's really changed, put it that way. We're having Thanksgiving.
Cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are rising nationwide, and cases are expected to jump soon.
In a week, more likely 2 weeks, we will see a surge upon a surge.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's latest ensemble forecast projects up to 321,000 COVID-related deaths in the U.S. by December 19th.
I'm going to be on call. I'm going to be in the hospital over New Year's, and to know that this is going to be what we're facing is just really very sad.
During a Thanksgiving address Wednesday, President-elect Joe Biden said the country needs to avoid COVID fatigue.
America's not going to lose this war. We'll get our lives back. This is the moment where we need to steel our spines, redouble our efforts, and recommit ourselves to the fight.
In the meantime, public health experts urge social distancing and wearing a mask in public.
It's much more comfortable to wear a piece of cloth on your face than it is for me to put a piece of plastic into your airway and save your life, or that will be towards the end of your life.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
At 5:40, you might be getting ready to do a little holiday shopping later this week, and local business owners are hoping that you'll choose to shop small. WRTV's Megan Sanctorum shows us the extra efforts local restaurants and shops are making to help boost business.
Small Business Saturday has a little extra meaning this year as local business owners try to rebound from the pandemic.
It's been a year full of uncertainty for small business owners everywhere, including here in Fountain Square.
Summer was great when it was warm and people could sit outside and enjoy our window being open, but now that it's starting to get colder, we've definitely seen a noticeable decline.
Zachary Davis is a co-owner of the wine market.
Thanksgiving sales are a really crucial time for us. We've definitely seen it slow down.
He says with big gatherings on hold, people are not coming in and buying wine like they used to. He's hoping Small Business Saturday will bring new customers as people start shopping for holiday gifts.
It's always important to shop local, but this year, with all the struggling businesses, just to keep it in the community, to keep that small local feel.
Christy Ryder owns City Dogs Grocery right across the street. She, too, is hoping the weekend kicks off a much-needed boost in sales, saying the personalized service and knowledge of employees at small businesses is unmatched.
As a local business owner, you pour your heart, your soul, your own money into it, so it's even more important.
Statistics from American Express's Small Business Saturday website show 62% of small business owners need to see consumer spending back at pre-pandemic levels by the end of the year, or they won't survive. In order to promote the small businesses here in Fountain Square, the Merchants Association created these passports. You get a stamp when you visit a locally owned shop, and you can be entered in a drawing for prizes like this.
If these businesses start to close, it hurts everybody. It hurts the property values because you're going to have a lot of vacant buildings down here. It's going to hurt the home values because so much is moving out of the area, and it's not going to have that thriving cultural scene that everybody wants to live and enjoy.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
All right, thank you so much there, Megan. And as we get into Black Friday shopping and then the Saturday shopping, there is going to be decent weather around. That is the good news. All right, here are your rainfall totals from yesterday. Officially 1.2 inches at the airport in Indianapolis. We were right around an inch in northern locations, southern locales, anywhere from 1 to about 2 inches of rain. All that rain has moved out. That is the good news here in this forecast, as we are going to have a dry Thanksgiving. And even though it's not going to be the brightest, temperatures are still going to be above normal here, not only today, but all the way through the weekend. But then you notice this big drop, and that is going to result in not only obviously the temperatures going down, but Monday could be the potential for our first accumulating snow across the area. And Raphael, I want you to look at this really closely because I know you're talking about pies earlier. I stole this from Kevin Gregory. Minnie Fincham sent this in. You could have your choice of pumpkin pie or the apple crumb pie. I'm taking both, and I'm going to Minnie's house after we get off work here to get a slice, and then I'm going to swing by you and get a slice later on today as well.
Well, listen, you can do so. We will be socially distanced. We'll do it the right way. And I'm going to get you 2 pies because I love Todd Clausen and Lauren Casey. So you each get 2 pies. Don't worry about it. Come on down. It's worth the drive. Coming up, a warning for residents in Marion County. How scam artists are hoping to use jury duty to rip you off. What the sheriff's office says you should do if you're targeted in this scam.
And we still have a crash closing the westbound lanes near I-465 and Southeastern Avenue, so avoid the 465 loop on that side of town. You can reroute through the downtown area. This is due to a deadly crash that happened last night. We'll be back with more news, weather, and traffic on this Thanksgiving. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. This morning we have a warning for you from the Marion County Sheriff's Office involving a scam involving jury duty. The department says that people are calling and posing as the Sheriff's Office officials, threatening people about missed jury duty. The callers tell people that they must pay a fine or they will be arrested. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says they will never contact you over the phone for such fines. If you do get a call like this, you're asked to call the county prosecutor's office. That number, 317-327-5600.
Purdue University is rewarding their faculty and staff for their heroic work to keep the West Lafayette campus running during the pandemic. School officials say more than 15,000 of their staff will get bonuses of $750 in December. Part-time staff will get a prorated amount. In a letter sent on Wednesday, Purdue President Mitch Daniels congratulated the faculty for getting through the in-person classes this fall. He called the bonus an appreciation award. And Todd, we appreciate that the rain has moved out for our Thanksgiving holiday, so good timing on that.
All right. You know, obviously yesterday was a big travel day, not as big as it would normally be given the circumstances with COVID and everything. But it was tough slogging around central Indiana. It was very soggy yesterday. Today, if you're going to friends and families for some of those small gatherings, you'll be in much better shape, at least weather-wise, across the area. Radar is completely quiet this morning with the exception of just a few isolated sprinkles that are now moving off to the east as well. And after that, we'll just be left with cloudy skies here throughout the course of the day today. But that was a big storm system yesterday that rolled through the area, and now it's impacting parts of the northeast. Hopefully we can get that rain out of New York City for the parade later on that is going to take place. But overall, we're going to be in decent shape today. It's just not going to be the brightest Thanksgiving for us. We don't have the sunshine that'll be out there, but we can't complain after yesterday was so wet all across the area with over an inch of rain in many locations. As far as the temperatures go, we haven't really cooled off from yesterday. Yesterday we did get up into the the 50s, so that was good news. It was, yes, wet, but at least it was above normal temperature-wise. 47 feels like 42, though, when you factor in that wind that's out of the west currently at 10 miles per hour. And temperatures are within a couple degrees of each other anywhere you go here this morning. 48 in Bloomington, 45 in Tipton, 49 is the current temperature in Muncie, and over in the Richmond area, we are looking at temperatures that are in the mid-40s. So throughout the day today, temperatures will stay in the 40s with skies that'll be mostly cloudy. In fact, 48, we're going to be pretty steady around that number throughout much of the afternoon, and then into the evening hours, really things don't change much either, as we will see temperatures in the 40s. Sunset this evening is at 5:23. Now, tomorrow's a good day to get out and about. Obviously, the kids are not in school. A lot of you probably off for the holiday. That was a picture of Eagle Creek Park before you saw the graphics come down, or any of the state parks across the area, or local parks. It may be a little muddy still from the rain, but it's a good day to get outside, work off that turkey, a little bit of exercise with temperatures that'll be near 50 degrees and partly cloudy skies. And then the weekend's pretty nice as well. Saturday, we're in the mid to upper 40s with mostly sunny skies. Sunday, we're at 50 degrees with increasing clouds throughout the day. And we're going to go from 50 on a Sunday to the potential for some accumulating snow during the day on Monday. Any rain that comes in here, and I do think the system probably starts off as some rain early Monday morning, will give way to snow as this storm system pushes off towards the east. Now, the track is obviously going to be very important. We have several days to get to this point, as we are not expecting any precipitation again until at least Monday morning. But there will be the potential, it looks like, for some decent accumulating snow across the area. And even if we don't get a lot of snow, it's still the first decent snowfall potential, at least for the season here across central Indiana, with temperatures only in the mid-30s. So that's something we'll focus on tomorrow and then through the weekend as that track evolves. But definitely going to get cold next week, Lauren, with those highs that are going to be in the 30s.
All right, Todd, thank you. We are still monitoring that traffic alert down on the south side of town. This is a look from our photographer Eldon Wheeler at the scene of a semi-crash with another vehicle. This is at I-65 near Edgewood Avenue, between Edgewood Avenue and Southport Road, the exit there. So keep that in mind. It's impacting lanes both northbound and southbound as the cleanup continues and may take a little while. As you can see, it's quite a mess there right in the middle of the interstate. Traffic, as you can see on the side of the screen, still getting by okay. So we'll continue to monitor this. We know the semi-driver was transported to the hospital, but overall no severe injuries. We'll keep you updated. Raphael?
Lauren, thank you for the update on that. Are you in the holiday spirit? Have you already put up your lights and your decorations? Well, please share a picture with us here at WRTV for a chance to win tickets to the Christmas Nights of Lights show at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. It's a great show. The contest, though, ends on December the 6th. For more information, go to WRTV.com and click on the Contest tab.
Santa is making some changes to stay safe in this pandemic. Just after the break, we'll take a look at the futuristic display that still lets kids talk directly to the big man. But first, a Thanksgiving message from one of our brave men and women in uniform.
Hello, my name is First Lieutenant Lamar Brown, currently deployed in Lviv, Ukraine. And I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all my family and friends back home. Favorite traditions, I come from a big family. My mom has 13 brothers and sisters. So one of my favorite traditions is to sit in the living room while they all scream and yell at each other. So you can barely hear your own thoughts. So it's pretty nice to have a big family.
Well, after today's Thanksgiving celebration, Christmas will be on many people's minds. Raphael, you know it's already been on mine for a few weeks now, at least.
I know. Weeks or months? Did you say months?
Months, I guess.
Many places have canceled sitting on Santa's lap because, of course, social distancing and the pandemic. But wait, new technology is stepping in to save the day. In Houston, Texas, families can safely meet St. Nick through a hologram. Check that out. The display, called Santa's Magisphere, allows kids to chat and interact with Santa, and he sounds a little like this. Check it out.
I am sure to wear a mask whenever I am in close vicinity with my elves, and I am properly tested weekly. I am older now, so I am what you would call a higher risk.
And guess what? It's not just for kids, us big kids too. Any age can set up a reservation to meet with Santa. And I would say, Todd Clausen, that you and Lauren have been on my nice list, so I'm sure Santa will deliver big time for you guys this holiday.
Oh, I'm on pins and needles. I can't wait. But you're right. We have been very, very good, Raphael. Nice. Very, very good.
I knew. I knew it.
All right. The forecast, not bad today. It's not going to be a very bright Thanksgiving. We're not expecting much in the way of sunshine, but temperatures this morning, as you see on both sides of me, in the 40s. And as I move out of the way, the radar, which was very active yesterday, pretty quiet this morning. There'll be a little bit of drizzle in spots. But going forward on this Thanksgiving, your high temperature gets up to 50 degrees. Cloudy skies, a dry day. The high of 50, actually a few degrees above normal, but it's pretty seasonable for this time of year. Big changes, though, as we work our way into next week. More on that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues on this Thanksgiving morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back.